Good gracious, I can't even watch Sharknado in peace. What in the world is he doing? Would you please go social distance somewhere else?
I'm just practicing my duck calls.
No, I can't stand it anymore. Out!
Yes, ma'am. Hey guys, this is Matt from Daddy Duck 365. Welcome back. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the comment, and also hit the little thumbs up. And also, as always, hit that notification bell so you can get notified of more videos that are upcoming. You know, we are in unprecedented times now with this coronavirus that's going around. All over the country and every state, we're getting stay-at-home orders. Non-essential businesses are being shut down. People are staying home. Some of y'all are able to go out and fish and go out turkey hunting. Some of us, like in here in South Carolina, all of our boat ramps have been, public boat ramps have been closed by the governor. We do still have some private ramps that we can launch. Have to pay a fine to get, a boat ramp fee. And we still have some turkey hunting. Most of my places where I hunt is on private property, so I'm good to go there. But as waterfowlers, we're constantly doing something. I like to, throughout the year, especially in the off season, is getting ready for the next season. Here it is, April. The early teal season will start about mid-September. So we got, less than 6 months until it starts up again. So I'm always getting things prepared. And while we have this downtime, it is imperative that we keep busy. Don't sit on that couch. Don't get lazy. Let's get out and let's do something. And so I've got a few tips that I'd like to pass on. Maybe you are doing these now. Maybe you've already done them. Or maybe you hadn't even thought about doing them. So stay tuned, and here's a handful of tips. Okay, so one of the things that I do right after the duck season is I get out and I clean my decoys. And after I get cleaned, I check all the riggings on them, make sure that the lines are good, there's no crimps have been broken or anything. I use Texas rigs or Mojo rigs. So instead of buying them already pre-made, I kind of like to make my own, because I have, throughout the country you have different water conditions. You may have, where you hunt in the rice fields of Arkansas, you have 6 to 8 inches of water. You don't need long lines. Where I hunt in the swamp, we're anywhere from 8 inches to about 5 foot, just all depending on where the ducks are at that time. So I like to have my rigs. I like to be able to know, okay, I need these rigs for today. This is where I'm going. This is the water level, and I can change them out. So throughout the year, I just go ahead and make up some, and that's what I'm doing here, is making up some rigs. Another thing I like to do is, right after the season, is give my guns a very, very thorough cleaning. If you saw one of my previous videos, oops, I dropped my gun in the mud. You'll note, guns get dirty. Things happen, and you need to give them a good detailed cleaning. Now, when that happened, when that particular incident happened, that day when I got home, I did a detailed cleaning. I broke it down to the pins and the springs, and I cleaned it, and I put it back together. But at the end of the season, I always give my guns a good cleaning. We have the time now. So even if you've already cleaned your gun, you may want to go back and just take a look at it and get a more detailed cleaning on it. Calls. This is a great time of the year to practice your duck calling. If you noticed, my wife sent me out a little while ago. She said I was blowing my duck calls in the room, just having some fun. And she came in there and said, "Hey, you got to just go outside. Go do something outside. Go social distance outside." I said, "Okay." So I'm out here. I was practicing my calls. Had, on occasion you get a call that the cork is worn out, and which will affect the sounding of your calls. The reeds, if they're not clean or if they're old, and occasionally you just need to replace them to get that sound back. So that's another good idea is to get your calls out, practice on them. If they're not sounding quite right or they got a little, play with them, maybe a reed got turned or cork is worn out and you may need to replace them. Spinning wing decoys. When the season ends, and especially this time of year, as I'm cleaning up, I'll take my spinning wing decoys and I will pull all the batteries out. Whether it's the large battery, the 6-volt battery, or if it's the AA battery packs, I pull all of the batteries out and I place these mojos into a plastic box. It's just like a little foot locker, and I place them in there. Number one, it keeps them organized, keeps the wings. I keep the wings in there, and everything's organized. And I take the batteries and take the batteries inside, the big 6-volt batteries. I take them inside so they don't get messed up in the elements outside in the shed. And the little AA's, I just pull them out and throw them away. I don't want those batteries in the holders. Corrosion sets in, and then you got another mess on your hand. So always take your batteries out of your mojos right after the season's over. And right now is a good time to do it because, hey, you might have forgotten about it. So now just go ahead and get that out of the way. Your boats. Your boat is your most expensive piece of equipment that you'll ever get while you're duck hunting. I myself run a Go Devil boat and motor. Mine's a 35 horse surface drive. For all practical and purposes, the power pack is nothing but a lawnmower engine. I think everybody knows that. But I still want to take care of that boat and motor. So when I'm done with the season, and right now is a great time to do it, is I've cleaned it out, emptied out the dry boxes. You may have seen a previous video I did on what I keep in my duck boat. That day, after I was cleaning it out, I decided to go ahead and put that video out. You can see that one up here. After cleaning the boat out, I usually replace the spark plugs, new oil filter, new oil, new fuel filter. I have a fuel water trap on my boat. I usually replace that once a year or once every 2 years. And every year or two, but sometimes 3 years, depending on how long they last, I replace my fuel lines. Just go ahead and get it done. It doesn't take much time, and you can have that done. Also, right now, you're probably home. You've gotten hardly anything to do. Maybe a little bit of yard work, and that's about it. Great time right now to, if you need to, repaint your boat or just kind of give it a little makeover. Some paint, maybe some neo-turf. Now, my good friends over at Styx River Camo out of Florence, South Carolina will have everything you need. I'll leave a description here and I'll put one down below. Go see them. Go online. They have any camouflage pattern you want. They have mine, the natural gear pattern, which this is my favorite camo pattern. They have neomats, paint, stencils, boat seats, whatever, just about anything you need for your boat to give your boat a really good makeover. Right now is a good time to do it, and trust me, you'll enjoy it Once it's all done, before it gets summertime and gets way too hot, go ahead and get that done. Next thing I like to do, and I do this all year round too, but we have a really good opportunity to start doing this, and that's working with our dogs. You may have just bought yourself a new puppy. I look on social media all the time on Facebook, and guys all over Facebook have just bought a bunch of new dogs and they're new puppies. Get out there and start working them 5 minutes at a time. Work them 5 minutes, put them up, bring them back out, let them play, work them another 5 minutes. Do 4 or 5, maybe even 6 sessions a day. What else are we going to do? You know, normally when you're working, my normal routine working my dogs is working them twice a day. Once in the morning before I go to work, and then once in the afternoons. And that's the only time we have. And occasionally on weekends we may do 1 session. Sometimes we don't even get that because we're busy with the rest of the family and doing those things. But right now we have a great opportunity to work our dogs. Even though Miss Gracie is... she's retired this year. I retired her last duck season. I'm still taking her out. I'm still throwing a few training dummies for her. Just casting her a very short cast. You know, just to get her moving so she doesn't, like me, gain a little too much weight. Speaking of which is another great idea. Get out there and go for walks. Don't be stuck on the couch. Don't be stuck in chairs all day long. Eating because you're bored and there's nothing to do, you're stuck at home. You can still get out and go walk around your neighborhoods if you can. Get out there and get some exercise. That's what I'm going to start doing here this afternoon. Trust me. If you got a treadmill, start getting on the treadmill if it's inclement weather. If it's not, get out here and get outside. Some of the best medicine, everybody knows this, is being outside in that sunshine. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Help me out, guys. We're going through a really rough time with this coronavirus. Subscribe. Give me that big old thumbs up. Like, and always comment and hit that notification bell. And when you hit those comments, tell me what you're doing. If these ideas are what you're doing, or you have some other ideas of what you may be doing, leave them down below. Tell us what you're doing. Would like to hear from you. And guys, please do me a favor. Be safe. Be safe out there. Social distancing, okay? I'm Matt. This is Daddy Duck 365, and we'll see y'all next time.